everyone calls me Allie. I'm a painter and installation artist based in New York City. I grew up there. And I'm just delighted to be here with all of you today. Today's actually my birthday.
Woo!
So thank you so much for being here and letting me do something I love to do, which is share my work with everyone. So, all right. So the first thing everyone asks me about my work is, what is this made of? So I'm gonna tackle that first with you guys, and I actually have a little thing you can pass around just to get a feel and a vibe for it. So I paint with ink and water on Mylar. So both things you're seeing on the screen right now are made with those materials. Even though they look very different, they're both made with the exact same thing. I like these materials because ink doesn't actually absorb into Mylar. Mylar is like a plastic sheet, as you'll feel. It just kind of runs around on the surface and interacts with water, and then eventually adheres to the surface. So there's all that kind of fun, organic chaos is kind of imbued into the work. And it also, water evaporates off the surface of it, leaving the memory of the water. And I really like that because my work deals a lot with memory. And so I'm gonna share just two bodies of work with you today that are visually very different, but made with the same materials, and both kind of explore this theme of memory. So starting here, what you're seeing is the first 5 feet of a very long roll of Mylar. It's about 40 inches by like 5 feet. And around March 2020, when we were all starting to feel a little anxious, I took a big departure from what I normally do, which is figurative painting. And I just started kind of painting strokes of ink on this long roll of Mylar. And it almost felt like a diary. It almost felt like each stroke of paint was like an entry in a diary. And it was a very meditative practice for me. And I just said, well, I'll just keep doing this until this whole thing blows over. This whole thing being COVID. So as you can imagine, that kept going. So it ended up being 50 feet long. And the only place I could actually look at the whole thing was outside. So I was lucky enough to be in a place where I could be outside during that time. And so I would roll this large roll out and kind of take it around with me, and I started to just document it, as the time passed. So it was kind of this sort of monolithic thing in the changing seasons, and I kind of liked that as like a way that time felt to me. And so then and to be clear, I didn't stop at this roll. I made 6 of these rolls, and I got the opportunity to install it indoors, which was an interesting thing to have to figure out. So if you show the next slide. So I had this lovely indoor space actually in Silver City, New Mexico, for my friend over there who spends time there. And so I had this lovely skylight to work with, and I decided to kind of keep this idea of like time, capturing the way that time felt during that period of my life, which was like it kind of folded onto itself and flowed and fits and starts. And so I really enjoyed making that, and that's my mom helping me install it over there on the left. Shout out to her for bringing me into the world today. Felt like a good day to give her a little. So, and it also just gives you a feel for the scale of the piece. Okay, so that piece was called Endless. And so this is going to fast forward us 3 years. That was in 2021. And so just this last December, I had this experience of going through my photo roll on my phone and realizing I had like 17,000 photos. I don't know if you guys share this experience, but it's almost like the easy access we have to taking photos means that really special moments that we capture get lost in this sort of mix of like, this sort of graveyard of like thumbnails on our phone. So I just started going through my phone and like taking out photos that felt really like memorable or potent or evoked a really special time in my life or a sad time. And I started kind of breathing new life into them by making paintings of them. So I made like a bunch of these, and I got the opportunity to show them this January at a gallery in New York. And you can go to the next. So on the left is where I kind of pitched this as a growing installation. So on the left is where the show started. And I had this idea to kind of turn this into an interactive piece. So I created an anonymous submission portal, and people, strangers, friends, whoever passed through the show, could send me a photo that felt really important to them. And so I received over 100 photos. I wasn't able to paint all of them, but I did paint a lot of them and sort of added to this kind of collective archive of memory over the course of the show. And this really kind of uncanny thing happened while I was painting other people's memories. They began to feel like my own. And it was a really fun thing to work on. And I'll just show you a few of these up close so you can see. So someone sent me a screenshot. I loved that. You can kind of see the little row of thumbnails on the bottom from the screen on the phone. And some people shared with me like what was going through their minds when they took these photos, and this person shared that they took this screenshot at a time when they were about to receive a diagnosis that would change their life. And so they associate this image with that time, and that sort of imbued it with all this meaning for me when I was painting it. A mother sent me this image of her son in a moment where he felt good and confident. A partner in the bath. So I'll just leave you with this. This is a little quick snapshot of my work table here at Jentel. I've been telling everyone back home that Wyoming has turned me into a landscape painter. I love it here, and I want to sort of capture the feeling and the memory of this place. So these are all like a bunch of very small studies, but they're all leading towards something very big that I'm cooking up in my studio. So stay tuned, feel free to connect with me. There's my Instagram and my website, and thank you guys all so much. Yes?
Is there a particular part of the landscape that really captures your soul?
Right now, it's this painting up here is like, is what's really, those two colors are what's really getting me. It's like when a storm has passed over the hills and the sun hits the hills, and they have that like golden glow to them, but the background is that kind of dark blue of the storm. That's really inspiring me right now. Yeah.
It's so interesting, these two ends of your work. The first piece, really physically big and abstract, and these so intimate and realistic. What's that tension about?
I just think I like variety, and I don't I think as artists we're often encouraged to have a brand or like a thing that we do, and I just have never felt like that way, and I've always just wanted to, try a bunch of different things. I think for me, it's like I love the materials that I work with, and I'm just always trying to explore the possibilities of what they can do. So that's kind of the tension and the thing that ties it together. Yeah,
And this is still the ink on that?
yeah, it's all, yeah, everything I do is ink and water on Mylar. Thank you so much. Oh.